Get ready, everyone. Buckle your seatbelts. We are back, and it is just about derby time. Bringing you a little bit of Smash Malice versus Brutal Pageant. Rector City Roller Derby's first ever teams were Brutal Pageant and Smash Malice. And it is a joy to be bringing them to you. We have got 5 minutes and 25 seconds until we get this derby cranking. I'm Sneaks Pasture. I am enjoying bringing this to you, and next to me I have
the Big Dipper, or just Big Dipper. I don't know if it needs an article. Okay. It's a name in flux situation.
Nice. I accept it. Big Dipper it is.
Also want to take this opportunity to apologize for breaking the double Kiwi accent situation we had before. With my twanging American voice.
I think that's cool. I think it's relatable. I think people will not mistake donate for donut if you say it.
I will hit my vowels very hard.
Nice. What can we tell you about these two teams? Smash Malice. I think Brutal Pageant might be skating out first. Let me tell you about them now. Like Fallen Beauty Queens is the myth. Someone just liked the name. I think the name appeared in Whippet, but that was after we had it.
Oh.
I think. I could be making things up, but I'm allowed. Because I'm here and I make the rules. For this microphone in particular.
While I'm thinking of it, for everyone who was asking towards the end of the last game, there will be, I'm counting 11 skaters who skated in the previous game who will be appearing sort of split pretty evenly between these two teams in this game.
Something to note too is that the last game you watched, that was Wellington's B team, Rector City Wellington B, and a lot of our All-Stars players will be playing in this home season, so so too will some of our newer skaters. So it'll be a bit more of a mix of abilities on the track, but you will be seeing some of our A-team skaters, which will be cool. We're ready to welcome these teams. Here we go, welcoming to the track, Brutal Pageant. We have Tough Bickies, who was my co-MC before at 101. 102 is Janie Dodgem. 2 is Boohoo. 29 Harm Assist. 404 Nerdiator. 41 Renegade Rita. 412 Clear the Decks. 414 Lens Flare. 58 Main Name. And 99 is Grumpy Wendy. And I have no idea who's on their bench. Maybe Tough from Taranaki is helping out the pageant tonight. That is your first team Brutal Pageant. If you were put in Brutal Pageant by the selection helmet, that is your team. They look forward to receiving your support.
And now here come their challengers. This is Smash Malice, starting with 109 Sting. The captain, 123 Tino Pie. 1-3 Bonnie Collide, 3-0 Miss Defiant, 4-2 Filthy, 4-2-0 Furious George, 8 Cotter Pounder, 8-0 Feisty Beaver, 8-5 Enemy Blunt, and number 9 Flying Kiwi.
Kiwi has ended up on the left, so that's a thing you should
Wildly
know.
confusing.
Kiwi on the left. Introducing your challengers, Smash Malice.
And it looks like Bubs is on their bench.
I think Bubs was going to assist on the bench. So that's our two teams representing Derby the world over. Apparently also some Derby being played in Hamilton. I think Big Dipper said there were 11 doing 2 in a row.
Yes, indeed.
11 players sort of scattered across the teams. Is it relatively even? Yeah, it's a relatively even
I think
split.
Pageant has 6, and Malice will be skating 5 from the Richter B team.
And the teams are even, so in terms of numbers we've got 10 on each team, so there will be no advantage in terms of player exhaustion or extra players. I would like to introduce to you now for this. I'm getting a piece of paper in and here the heads of 3 will be Mr. Our Jammer refs are fouled out and Batman. Our head ref from the last game in Davison will be outside factory. Also Salty and Edge, and then referee alternate as well.
Our NSOs will be Number Cruncher, Kicked in the Jewels, Maple Hurricane, Raven Mad, Dax Ex Machina, is how I'm going to say that, Dr. Reaver Song, and Scathing Grace. And now, as they say, let's do that derby.
Let's do that derby. Let's get ready. Brutal Pageant lining up. Who's jamming?
A little bit of dancing out there.
Flying Kiwi and Mediator.
Ooh.
Pink for Brutal Pageant and Flying Kiwi in black and gold for Smash Malice. Are you with us? Dirty Twitter, Dirty Twitch. Are you with us? Are you ready? Are you cheering on the team?
The Derby multiverse.
Someone's saying announcer is quiet, and I'd like to know which one.
All right, bit of a pile up, but it looks like it's Nerdiator emerging with lead for Brutal Pageant. And Kiwi has stashed the star.
Mediator at the Mediator heading to the Derby Apex penalty bin. The first visit to the Derby Apex penalty bin.
Track cut, so our first jam's going to go the full 2 minutes.
It is. So these are our first two original home teams. We also have our home team called Comic Slams. The Brutal Pageant and Smash Malice are it for this evening. Or this morning, wherever you may be.
Shout out to everyone who's still staying up with us. We appreciate you.
Of course, at this part of the game, the teams are always just finding their feet, figuring out how their defense and offense is going to work. Nerdy is back from the bin. A beautiful spin there. And she's out. Flying Kiwi. Going to work there with Jamie Dodgen and Tough Bickies. As Nerdy comes around after scoring some sweet, sweet points. Flying Kiwi working hard. The star has been passed. A
Star
beautiful,
pass.
stealthy star pass from Kiwi to Tino. It looks like Tino has left the track, unfortunately. And re-entered.
And Nerdy is still putting up points. And possibly showboating for the cameras, which...
Unfortunately, the shot is too tight, and I think nobody got to see her friendly little face. And that's the jam. 12 points Nerd put up on the board there.
And 4 for Smash. Ooh, nope, 13. Lucky 13 for Brutal Pageant and 4 for Smash Malice.
Good morning, Scuzz Bunny. Having your breakfast? I am having a snack. Can you believe it? Sneaks is snacking. I'm having a cheese toasty. It's got cheese with jalapenos, which is quite pleasant. So cheers to you. Good morning. Good evening.
Looks like we've got Enemy Blunt on the line against Claire the Dex, but first we're
Is the
going to
timeout being called?
Yeah.
Oh, look, we're only a couple of minutes in and already things are getting confusing.
People have begun to look suspiciously towards the scorer's table.
And that's all we can tell you. So we've got Clear the Dex on the line and Enemy Blunt. Dex is a pageant skater and Blunt will be skating for Malice. Wino saw on the cans. Nice. Some of us are breakfasting, some of us are eating a 7:20 p.m. cheese toasty, and some of us are on the cans. There's some conferencing happening and we don't know what it is. We are in the dark just as you are.
In theory, someone inside the circle. Oh.
End of timeout.
And a timeout.
We're back in the game.
Right back into it.
Oh, I love that sound. Skates and impact. It's a good time. Blunt is hit out by Harm and taken back while Dex finds her way.
Defiant is going to have something to say about that. Pushes her to the
As
inside.
is Pound.
But eventually...
Dex is out. Clear the Dex is our lead jammer.
And now Blunt is chasing her about half a lap behind. Dex makes her way through, picks up some points, and calls it off.
You can tell the skaters who have just been playing for Wellington are grateful for the help from their fresh-legged teammates. Thank goodness for fresh bods.
We may be having another timeout.
It's a thing. They happen. You got to get clear on what's going on. Our head ref, Mr. Fox, is coming over to our head NSO. I might take the opportunity to have a bite of my toasty.
Yeah, get after it.
Okay.
Before I can forget, we can see Miss Defiant out there, number 30 for Smash Malice. She has specifically asked that we say hello and give her love to Angel City. So hopefully they're out there and they know that she loves them.
Mm-hmm. She used to skate with them. A lot of love there, I'm sure. There's a scoreboard situation going on. The timeouts are due to a scoreboard issue. Technology, eh?
We got too lucky during the first game, and now all of our chickens are coming home to roost.
They are. They're roosting with technical difficulties.
I'm mostly here to drop agricultural metaphors.
Well, my name's Sneaks Pasture, so you'll hear no complaints from me. Got a little shout out here. Hi Fern. Kia ora. Hope you're having a great evening, morning, middle of day, whatever the heck time it is where you are. Sending you some love from Aotearoa, New Zealand. If you were here, I'd give you a bite of my toasty.
I don't know how safe that is.
Oh yeah, if it was safe. Strange Ember is asking if Enemy Blunt was a blocker in the last game and a jammer in this, but nope, she was jamming for the Wellington team in the last game. I don't know that she came on as a blocker.
I don't believe so. Dex did some time at both in the last game, but I think Blunt is a pretty dedicated jammer at this point in her career.
We're just working on these scoreboard issues. Bear with us. Oh, someone is asking a very good question. What's a toasty? Let me tell you, a toasty in the States is known as... Sorry, I was trying to hold it together. I was trying to hold it together.
Last time you talked about?
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Grilled cheese.
The Australians felt strongly about your designation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to live in Queensland and they called it a jaffle there and I just never understood. But anyway, it's essentially 2 pieces of bread with some cheese in the middle. But this one's got jalapeno cheese, which I'm really enjoying. I know, right? But it's a classic snack. It's made differently the world over, but enjoyed all the more. And we're off. Thank goodness I could stop talking about my toasted bread.
That was all our toasting material. Looks like we've got Flying Kiwi, but it's Dodge getting lead jam, but Flying Kiwi is right behind her. Some furious offense being played, and Dodge will call it off for a 1-1 jam.
If you're wondering where I am, I'm just eating my toasty still.
The now infamous toasty. I think the concern last time was that what was the Australian one?
I don't want to say it again because it's only a Queensland thing. It's going to hurt someone's feeling. Yes.
It's that there was like a specific campfire adjacent tool.
Someone's asking for a lesson in cheese rolls, but I think I should probably talk about Derby for a while. Here we go. We've got Nerdy lining up.
Maybe Furious George.
Against Furious George back jamming.
Furious George just going
Tough
against
Bicky's not having a bar of it. Oh, wow. Squeezing George up to the line. And Nerdy jumping out the front. Nicely done. A big hit from Sting in her animal print trousers, representing Smash Malice 109.
Very much Sting's stock and trade is the big hits.
A big hit from Sting is a well-known thing.
You show Sting your ticket stub, and she helps you find a seat.
It's true. And she gives you a look all the while. End of jam.
Maybe helping somebody back up. We'd love to see it.
Strong start from Brutal Pageant.
And that's looking like clear the decks out on the jam line.
I believe it is. Is it?
I want to say
Blunt.
Enemy
Blunt. Yep. They were teammates a moment ago. Now they are rivals.
Enemies, even.
Oh. Clear the decks, making her way out.
Ooh,
Enemy Blunt.
great toe stop work by Blunt.
And a beautiful spin. As Dex comes around to score herself a few points. Oh, beautiful work from the outside to the in.
Filthy and Bonnie trying to hold her, but she breaks through.
Nicely done to stay in bounds through that, pushing up to the outside and the in. Bit of a tussle going on between blockers as well. Janie dodging the last line of defence there.
I believe there's been a star pass.
Indeed there has.
That's
Tino Pai is
Tino with the star.
jammer for Malice.
Ooh, it appears that there was an issue with the star pass.
And
we're
I
gonna
think
have
it's
another
going to be
timeout.
considered, yes. There's some consideration required regarding the star pass. And Malice are calling a review on that, I believe. Tense moment here at Kilburnie Rec Centre. Nobody knows what's going on here in the suburbs of Wellington.
Very much a game of inches at this point.
Indeed. It can be hard as a skater when the start of a game is stilted in this way. You sort of start to find your groove. And then, yeah, you lose it immediately. You get in the flow and then the flow stops, you know. It's a hard time.
So now it's been announced that Malice is calling for an official review. And
So we've got Tough Bickies and Clear the Decks from Brutal Pageant, and Tino Pai from Malice having a chat to head ref Mr. Fox. Nerd Derby's ready to get a Brutal Pageant tattoo.
oh my goodness, that's the level of commitment we're really looking for.
What would really be commitment is if you could get it from Boohoo number 2 on Brutal Pageant as the tattoo artist. And that would be, I feel that would be the closure of a beautiful circle.
I think someone who did that would be in pretty good company. I think several skaters in the league have tattoos courtesy of Boohoo.
I have not been keeping count, but for sure.
Definitely.
Okay, there's some conferencing happening here about the Star Pass.
Tough Bickies
And
has
the relative legality.
returned to the pageant bench. Apologies about the dead air.
We don't know what's going on. Oh, the jammer is back in the penalty box. Ah, yes. Mr. Fox is going to tell us what's up.
Okay, Smash Malice requested an official review. They wanted the penalty on their jammer to be rescinded. The penalty was for an illegal star pass. Upon review, The penalty has been rescinded and they retain their official review.
I do hope you heard on the radio mic what that was all about.
All right, we are back on with nobody now in the Derby Apex penalty box.
The penalty box is clear. Janie Dodgham lining up for Brutal Pageant. First time we see her jam this evening. And second time. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. It's the toasty. And
like
flying kiwi for Smash Malice. Hopefully we can get some momentum going.
Appears to be a
train defense
a conga
forming
line
here.
forming on the inside of the track there. And now
And some
now we're
hug
just
defense.
making sandwiches out of people.
Oh no, we can't go back to food. We need to head to Derby.
It's the great commonality that binds us all. All right.
Kiwi round the outside. Burst of speed. Out for lead jammer for Smash Malice. Ready to put some points on the board. Try and get Brutal Pageant.
But Dodge now breaking
control.
loose.
And if there's someone you want to go faster than, it's Dodge. She's got some speed. Kiwi banking those points before Dodge can get any of her own.
For everyone who was talking about it during the first game, I believe that Grumpy Wendy is wearing a donut-themed shirt for this game.
Oh, I would not be surprised.
Could be wrong, but that was a little tip that someone dropped in my ear.
Nerdy gets lead jam for Brutal Pageant.
It looks like
Furious George working to get clear of the red pack, but not having any luck.
Oh,
Beautiful
but
roll
spins
off the
around and gets
outside.
free.
Defiant heading to the Derby Apex penalty box.
Looks like it's going to be clear the decks jamming for Pageant. And Enemy Blunt skating for Smash Malice.
There's a lot of love on the stream for the dress that Flair 414 is wearing. I think that came from Vicious Veggie, a previous Pageant skater. And it always brings a little bit of fun and levity. Oh, there's some big hits being laid down out there.
Dex running into Tino there, but now shakes loose and is lead.
Getting a little push from her teammate Dodge. Janie Dodgham.
Someone is Grumpy Wendy being called for a cut and heading to the Derby Apex penalty box.
Enemy Blunt.
It's free.
Heading towards the back of the pack, hoping for some points. Will clear the decks, call it off?
And she
Yes,
says no.
she will.
No points for you.
So far, our banter has been about fashion and food. We'll try to bring it back to skating.
I can drop a fun fact about Lens Flair.
Okay.
Her number 414 is a reference to the area code for the Milwaukee County. So shout out to fans of the Brew City Bruisers. I know that they were the first roller derby game she ever saw in person.
Paying homage with her shirt.
Flying Kiwi out with lead, but chased by Dodge.
Dodge is hot on the trail.
Kiwi calling for some offense.
And the pack is moving quickly.
Oh, goes for a whip. And a few people go for a tumble.
Kiwi taking out her own teammate Filthy, but everyone's cool. And the score is in favour of Brutal Pageant by rather a few, 37 points to 9. And we're just over 10 minutes into this half. Lots of smiles on refs' faces, which we like to see. And we have one skater in the penalty box. The Derby Apex penalty box. Nerdy coming out, jamming for Brutal Pageant. Trying the outside, trying the inside. Nearly finding it in. And some beautiful toe stop work on the inside line. Earns Nerdy lead jammer status. George is held up.
Nerdy is just staring down that inside track. Gets there, no trouble. Powers away, looking for more points. Tino makes a hole.
Oh, George ducks underneath Wendy's arm.
And Nerdy right behind her.
$45-9 is our score.
This has felt like a defensive game. So
yeah.
far. It's been a lot of 4 points here, a couple points here. Appears that Cotter Pounder is currently sitting in the Apex Derby Apex penalty box. And
Dex takes a spell.
Against enemy
Blunt
again. Dex is out for lead.
Oh, Bonnie putting in some great offense for her jammer. Enemy Blunt working hard against May Mame and Janie Dodgem. Supported by Rita.
Things getting slightly gummed up in turn 2. But Pound is back to join, but before she can, Dex is free. 4 points on the board. Ooh. Dex with a little hop around the outside there. But it's going to get recycled.
I'd like to say good morning to Dublin Roller Derby. Hi guys, thanks for your appreciation, and good morning to you on a Saturday morning. It's Saturday night here, and I can tell you that the future is bright.
Ooh.
Saturday night's going well.
Big hit by Dodge on Cotter Pounder. And Lens Flare is going to head to the Derby Apex penalty box for a penalty I couldn't hear.
And one I was not paying attention to because I'm looking at Derby Twitter. That'll teach me.
But Dex is through for another 4 points. As Blunt has 2 to beat. Now 3.
Dex
May
approaching.
joins.
Oh, solid work from Pound and Bonnie. They've played together a lot as teammates, so they have a defensive strategy down packed. Did you know that the population of Wellington is roughly 400,000? I did. And now you do too.
I believe I also did.
That's including the greater Wellington area. So we're the capital city of New Zealand. New Zealand itself has 5 million people. So if you're joining us from overseas, we're a small city in a small country. We have big hearts or something, I feel like I need to say.
And a lot of coffee.
Oh my gosh, do we what? We love a coffee here. Again, we're back to food.
I believe also Wellington
Beverages.
has the best air quality of any world capital.
Is that true?
I believe so. It's because
Thanks
the
for
wind
teaching me
is
about my
so
home.
strong.
Yeah, nothing sits around too long. We are more windy than Chicago. I know you don't believe me, but it's true. I think we're the windiest city in the world. Google it if you don't believe me.
And much of the wind that we get here in Wellington is coming straight from Antarctica.
It's pretty chilly.
And when it hits you in the face, you can tell. It feels like it's coming from right off a glacier. Oh, we're taking a look at the penalties there. Pretty clean game thus far. Miss Defiant has picked up a couple, but most people with clean sheet.
So far, so good. And I can confirm we are indeed the windiest city in the world. Wikipedia told me.
And it would never lie.
Not to me.
Now in the midst of a team timeout.
In case you've just joined us, we are allowed to be skating, obviously, because here we are doing it. In New Zealand, we have different alert levels, and at the moment, our alert level allows us to gather in groups of under 100. So we have been really strict on making sure that that is observed. We are allowed to be this close to each other, provided we have the ability to trace everyone who's here. So we're also very thankfully free of COVID-19 in Wellington at the moment, which is awesome.
Looks like we've got Furious George lining up on the jam line, and another jammer.
Another jammer.
Who looks a lot like
Nerdy.
Nerdiator, who is going right into the teeth of that Smash Malice defense. But it's George who's going to pop
Sneak
out
around the
first.
outside there. And Bickies, there's been a star pass. Tough Bickies is our jammer for Brutal Pageant. George is keen to get some points on the board. Goes for the jump.
Goes for the jump and calls it.
Oh, and banks those points. Smash Malice. Nice one, George.
She did rob us of the joy of seeing Bickies jam. Bickies, who some of you will remember from about 30 minutes ago.
Usually plays as a pivot, very strong pivot, but equally strong jammer in my opinion.
All right, underway. That's the flying Kiwi going up the inside line for lead jammer.
Living up to her name.
And that's Dodge now emerging from the pack, looking to give chase.
Clearly Psycho and Laura Lockdown are supporting Flying Kiwi all the way from Durham roller derby. And they said to say hi. I can't say hi to Kiwi right now, but if she watches this back, she'll hear it and know that you're supporting her. I'll tell her as well later.
I believe Flying Kiwi did some of her skating for Croydon roller derby.
I don't know, but that's what I've been told.
Yep. We can only
really
choose to believe the people who speak to us.
Indeed.
We're getting philosophical here
I
in
think the
Game
answer
2
is yes.
from Wellington, New Zealand.
We've loved having Kiwi with us. She coaches us, and she's brought a lot to the Richter City All-Stars, our A-team.
Enemy Blunt here with two more skaters to beat at the front of the pack.
Two formidable skaters in Janie Dodgem and Tough Bickies. We've got Nerdy at the back of the pack.
Lens Flare trying to do some offense for her, but Blunt is free with lead. And now Nerdy is out after a bit of a star stash. Big cheers from the bench.
2
Blunt
points
calls
on
it
the board
off.
there for Smash Malice. Malice seem to be finding their groove a little bit. Locking in together. These teams haven't worked together necessarily. Smash Malice and Brutal Pageant are home teams in our league every year. This year's been a little different because coming back after lockdown, our numbers are a little lower. So we have sort of randomly popped people into teams, and they're figuring things out as they go and doing a really good job.
A number of the skaters that we're seeing here tonight, obviously 11 of them skate with the B team, but a number of them also skate together for the Richter City All-Stars.
Indeed.
And we have more than a few charter skaters out here tonight as well. Furious George is going to get lead.
As Bonnie Collide heads to the Derby Apex penalty box.
And Claire the Dex is free and looking to put some pressure on, but Furious George has picked up her 4 and is going to call it off. Dex says to heck with that.
Janie Dodgem lining up for Brutal Pageant. She's returning to Richter this year after a bit of a break. It's lovely to have her back. Lining up against Flying Kiwi, who we can confirm played for Croydon and Durham. Thank you, Derby Twitter. Someone's asking if Smash Malice and Brutal Pageant have played more than twice, because the Flat Track Derby stats have that as a current stat. They will definitely have played each other more than twice. They've been going since 2009, so we haven't been keeping good enough records. Apologies. Kiwi and Bicky's tussling. The Pink Pack working hard, but Kiwi is out.
After a solid hit by Boohoo. Oh, a solid hit, but perhaps not a legal one, as she heads to the Derby Apex penalty bench.
So the stakes here are both equally very high and not at all high.
I think definitely both teams are just really excited to be back playing competitive derby of any sort.
Absolutely, and both would like to win,
Yep.
but we're having a jolly good time.
I think also as we go along, we may see some of the rotations shortened a little bit to accommodate the fatigue for some of those skaters who were in the first game.
It was a really tight turnaround, wasn't it, the half time? And that last game was really close for that first half, so there's a lot of work happening. And in the second half, it was definitely work as well. So there'll be some tired skaters out there for sure.
This appears to be enemy Blunt just putting in the hard yards, pushing against Harm Assist and May, who are getting a little help from Nerdy.
And Filthy's playing some offense.
And clear the decks for Brutal Pageant.
Oh, would not want to be a jammer in this particular lineup of packs.
But it's Dex who has one to beat. That's Tino. And Tino's going to have to let her go.
Lead jammer goes to clear the decks.
Fought hard for that. Nerdiator.
Blunt being recycled to the back of the Pink Pack. As Dex tussles with Tino Pie at the front. She is out through another scoring pass.
She's handed off the star to Filthy. She's going to try to do some work here.
And Filthy is out. Filthy, our pivot for Smash Malice, now jammer, has cleared the pack. Clear the decks. Being told to call it.
Ooh.
And is now doing so.
I think Filthy might have snuck in there and grabbed a couple of points.
Certainly
though.
she did.
So that's 8 for Brutal Pageant and 2 points. Well done, Filthy.
Always satisfying as the pivot, putting the pressure on and being able to actually bank some points. We've got Tough Bickies lining up as a jammer for Pageant, possibly relieving a bit of fatigue from our previous game. And Furious George lining up for Smash Malice. Bickies up the inside.
Tough Bicky's getting lead jammer. George a little bottled up around the inside.
Bickies making short work of the track. Looking for points. Colliding with her own teammate, who is fine. She's just heading to the Derby Apex penalty box.
Good shot of Tough Bicky's there.
Smiling, having a chat.
I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, but Tough Bicky's also skated for Team Aotearoa in the last World Cup.
And the one before that, I believe.
So if that name or skating style has looked a little familiar to some people, that might be it.
Bickies played in 2011 and 2018. Tino Pie smashing through the pack.
And getting lead. This is another rare treat. Tino does not jam often.
It is a rare treat, and she is
And
clearly
she is
enjoying
looking to make the
herself,
most of it.
picking up a clean sweep of points there.
And you can hear the crowd getting into it.
We've got 2 Pageant skaters in the Derby Apex penalty box at the moment.
Both of them are now standing. Ooh. Oh. Nerdiator recycling Tino. And Tino refusing to engage. A little bit of a standoff here. Crowd's going to try to get him going. Oh! Nerdy trying to get a cut call out of it, I believe.
To no avail. Hello, Middlesbrough Roller Derby in the UK. Thanks for being with us. Who else is still out there on the Twitch with us live? Can't believe that you're staying up late or getting up early. We're so grateful to you. It's jolly lovely. Kia ora, San Francisco. Oh, Brooklyn, hello.
A little hustle to
Alaska.
make sure we've got everyone.
Alaska is going hard.
Clear the decks. Also going hard.
Newtown
and picking up
representing. Are we
lead
talking
jammer.
Newtown Sydney or Newtown Wellington? There's probably Newtowns all over the place. Seattle, thank you for being with us. Texas, kia ora. 3 a.m. going strong. Gotham, hello. New
Enemy
Mexico,
blunt getting
hi
held
from
there.
Aussie. Kingston City Roller Derby. Fort McMurray, Alberta, hello. Newtown, Wellington, boom. New Plymouth, kia ora Taranaki. Sydney, Melbourne, Sacramento. I've been to Sacramento. I bought some wonderful shoes, which I'm wearing right now. I've got my Sacramento shoes on. I'm a real fan of sneakers, which is part of why my name is Sneaks. And I got these sneakers in Sacramento.
Ooh, sorry to interrupt, but we've got a star pass.
You're welcome to
We are
interrupt
now
to talk
seeing-
about actual derby.
Oh.
Ah, Defiant!
And we're robbed of a chance to see Defiant Jam.
Palmerston North, the metropolis of.
I'm going to confess, seeing Defiant Jam is very much on my derby bucket list.
Johannesburg, hello. Hi, Dunners. Hi, Dunedin. Nottingham. Coventry. Sneakers are for sneaking. It's a true story. Ballarat, hi. Plymouth. Central Otago, no way. I grew up in Alexandra. You're in my homeland. Kia ora. Finland, what? Taupo. Island Bay, hello. Kapiti Coast, kia ora. Lower Hutt, another Sacramentoan. There's derby happening. Kiwis rolling.
And I think Rita
Is hot on her
standing
heels.
against
I
her.
would recognize that skating style anywhere.
We are seeing a who's who of Richter City All-Star blockers
Indeed, we are.
rolling up to the jam line.
That's one of the funnest things about home season where the pressure is off a little bit is you get to sort of play in positions you wouldn't normally play as in the game, but also actually have a play with it, have some fun, which is really good to see. And it's nice to see the range our skaters have got. Hello, Wales. Tiger Bay Brawlers.
Tiger Bay.
All the way from Levin, Crazy Crab. There's a timeout happening.
I believe
It is a pink timeout.
Yep, Pageant.
Mm-hmm.
Taking another look at the penalties. No one from Brutal Pageant in particular trouble.
No, it's pretty even looking
Yeah.
board, isn't it?
And same again over for Smash Malice.
Pretty clean game as she goes so far.
Well done, everyone.
Nerdy's waving to you all. Don't know if you caught
Nerdy
that.
hamming it up to
She'd
the
like
camera
you to know
again.
that she's watching. Nerdy's one of those skaters when you're in the bleachers watching on. She always gives you a little wave as she goes past, which the crowd loves. Which I loved the very first time I came and watched. Saw Nerd doing her thing.
And that's the end of the timeout, so we're going to get back to it here on the track. Looks like it might be Dodge on the jam line.
That is
with
indeed Janie Dodgem.
Furious George.
George has been tutored a lot in her jamming by Dodge. So a George and Dodge matchup is quite a thing to behold.
Jodge, some might say.
George, indeed, the celebrity couple. Both jammers working hard against some incredibly strong defensive packs.
The benches and the crowd starting to get into it. Oh,
Big hit from Nerdy.
And a recycle with Tino trying to close the gate. And it's Dodge that's going to emerge.
Janie Dodgem is our lead jammer. Dodge has a beautiful skating style. She's an artistic skater, is how she learned to skate. So she has a lot of style and flair.
And George emerges. I believe still on her initial. And someone is going to make their way to the Derby Apex penalty bench.
It might be Nerdiator. It is
Nerdy.
indeed. I think it was a directional penalty for Nerd, having a seat in the naughty little Derby Apex penalty box.
She heard us saying there weren't a lot of penalties and thought, give the people what they want.
Indeed, they want to see.
Penalty minutes.
They want to see some skin in the game.
Get those Pims up. All right, that looks like
Enemy blunt jamming for Smash Malice and Tough Vicky's out the
Vicky's
front.
just dodges. Flying Kiwi.
Flying Kiwi really did fly there. Caught Vicky's by surprise. Here comes Vicky's.
And we've
hoping
got a
for some
star pass,
points.
and now Flying Kiwi is out with
Vicky's knocked out of bounds by Tino.
after a good attempt at an apex jump.
And Kiwi is hot on the heels of Vicky's here, who sees that and calls it off. Oh, nice tussle between jammers there. 2 points to Brutal Pageant. Our score at the moment is 86 to Brutal Pageant and 32 to Smash Malice. And is that us? No.
We're going to try to get one more in before the halftime whistle, maybe. I think we are.
Indeed.
Dessert Derby.
Indeed. Just a little more. Oh, George.
And George wastes no time.
Beautiful.
Something of a fan favorite in the first game, it seemed, based on the Twitch comments.
She really is coming into her own now,
And
George.
we've got a star pass, and it's going to be Nerdiator. Getting out.
George was hit off the track and decided to call it as Nerdy was putting on the pressure there. And that brings us to our half-time. There's 50 points in it. I have full faith in Smash Malice to come back and give Brutal Pageant a good run for their money.
Oh my gosh, that's
Would
my
you look at
face.
that? It's us.
Just zero warning coming in there.
I wish I still had some toasty so I could show you guys what it looked like, but it's gone. Make yourself a snack. You've got 15 sweet minutes, and then we've got 30 more minutes of Derby to go.
And come back and tell us about your snack in the Twitch.
We'd like to know about
Stream, yeah.
your snack. We'd like
All
nothing
snacks
more.
all the time.
Would like nothing more than to know about your snack. Awesome.
Cheers.
And we're back with 1.5 minutes to go until the second half of this international home game. Hey, Big Dipper.
Hey,
Hey,
there's
yo,
us.
here we are. I just had to clear some snacks from the table so as not to embarrass myself. I know. I love a snack. What can I say?
It's been the main theme of tonight's broadcast, or this morning's broadcast, depending on where you are, is that we love snacks.
Well, people bond over food. It's been a thing through the ages. We have to eat or we don't survive. So if I need some orange slices in a plastic container, that's what I need.
It's like soccer practice.
Yep. I'm really grown up and mature.
Get
You
some
guys
orange
are lucky to
slices
have
at
a broadcaster
halftime.
of this caliber. Oh, here we go. The
All right,
skaters
we
are hustling
returning
back to the track.
My face will go away from in front of me.
I
just
do jolly well hope
any
so.
second now.
That's enough. That's enough. 20. Okay, good. That's more like it. We've got Furious George and Nerdy. A battle of the ages between Malice and Pageant. Oh,
And we're going to start with the
are we
timeout.
are we timing out before we've even timed? Track repair. There's something on the track.
Oh.
Safety first. Can report that the halftime was a really pleasant time. There were a lot of smiles and laughs, and we were all just really enjoying bringing this derby to you and being back on the track. It's been a long hiatus, as you all will know. Those of you still in hiatus from Derby, it's such a big part of our lives. It's a daily, if not weekly, practice and connection with our community. So it's really weird being away from it, and it's really lovely being back into it in this somewhat strange environment. Strange, but still grateful for it.
You don't really know how much you miss something until you get a little taste of it back.
That's true.
I'm going to be honest, I got a little misty when we announced the lineups for that first game. I didn't think it was going to happen, and then...
Here we are.
Yeah, I sort of had a moment. Glad I wasn't on mic for it. We're having some discussion now. We've got people over at the scorer's table.
Goodness me.
So...
Having an official review before the first jam is quite... Official timeout, I'm sorry. I'm being schooled by the officials, which I welcome. Like to be corrected and taught. I'll tell you a story about the very first time that the league ever played, which was Smash Malice versus Brutal Pageant. It was very grassroots sport. It was at a basketball venue, like a community basketball venue, and there weren't enough bathrooms to allow the capacity that they wanted. So they had to get in some portaloos. Can you translate that?
Our American viewers might know as porta potties or porta johns.
There we go. So we had to get some of those in, and when they were collected, when the hire company came to collect the portaloos, there was one less than what they dropped off. So some 11 years ago, the case of the missing portaloo of Brutal Pageant became a thing. Does anybody know where it went?
Yeah, I was going to say, I have to imagine there's not great resale value on those.
Not great resale value on a porta potty.
No.
It's true.
I mean...
Who wants it? Who takes it? And how do they take it?
There's a market for everything somewhere, but it's about finding the fence, you know?
It's Derby time.
This is
Furious George and Nerdy. Here we are, kicking off the second half of this home game between Brutal Pageant and Smash Malice.
Potter Pounder doing some big offense there, trying to get George free.
George getting shut down by Bickies and then Wendy. Nerdy cutting the track, unfortunately. So a power jam to Smash Malice, who will try to make the most of this opportunity. George looking for some offense from her team.
Boohoo having a laugh.
And George is out of the pack. Rolling her neck as if to say, ouch, I was not expecting a hit in the face. It's never a good time. George trying to get some points on the board for Smash Malice here. Assisted by her team to come around the outside. Beautiful. Tis the season of the George.
It's George's world, and we're all just living in it.
It's true.
But here comes Nerdiator.
Calling the jam. Before Nerdy can get any points on the board, where does it leave us?
41 to 86, which is a 45-point spread.
Strong start to the half for Smash Malice. They'll be happy to get some points on the board. Straight off. We've got Clear the Decks lining up for Brutal Pageant. And Flying Kiwi taking to the jam line for the Smash Malice team.
And they're going to make room for her, and she is up the inside for lead jammer.
Dex is taking off her helmet cover, looking for the pass. But her pivot is in the Derby Apex penalty box. So she does it herself. If you've got to get something done, you do it.
Flying Kiwi's not going to give her the chance, though.
No chance, nope.
Another 4 points for Smash Malice. They're climbing back into this thing.
Some brilliant puns relating to portaloos, such as you really want to get to the bottom of this one. Hats off. We love a pun in Derby. Janie Dodgem on the jam line for Brutal Pageant, and Enemy Blunt on the jam line for Smash Malice. Dodge working hard against the Smash Malice pack as Rita returns from the Derby Apex penalty box. So we have a clear penalty box and a full track. Neither jammer having any success clearing the pack as yet. Dodge looking to get a bit of a run up, and she's out. Janie Dodgem is our lead jammer for Brutal Pageant in the beginning of the second half. Smash Malice ready to hold Dodge back. But Dodge is looking for the gaps, challenging those links.
Defiant says there are no gaps here.
You will find no gaps, but she does. And that is the magic of Dodge, but Quarter Pounder trying to shut her down. Last line of defence there. Not making it easy for her.
Oh, we have a star pass, and Tino Pie is once again wearing the star and powering in looking for some points.
But she won't get the chance. Coming to you in stereo. Kiwi accent and American accent. Chancing and chancing out here.
My Kiwi accent's very bad, otherwise I would do an impression.
And I won't attempt yours either. Let's stay in our lanes. Nerdy is coming back to the track for Brutal Pageant up against Flying Kiwi, who had great success in her last jam. Let's see where this one takes us. She's flying. She's Kiwi. She's a flying Kiwi.
And Dex has gotten a star pass.
As Kiwi swoops through the pack.
Just had Defiant to beat, but that's a challenge in and of itself. She's got to get past Filthy.
Skaters struggling to hold together after that first game, I think. The fatigue is really getting to some people, which is not a criticism, just an observation. Kiwi flying around the track, putting some points on the board for Smash Malice. Some clear comms coming from the bench for her to call that jam off. Beautiful derby, textbook jamming, you might say.
This may not come as a surprise, but in practice, Kiwi's also a fantastic blocker.
Indeed.
There's nothing she can't do.
And a great coach. We're very lucky to have her.
Looks like Furious George once again at the line, along with, is that Tough Bickies?
It is Tough Bickies. Smash Malice really building some momentum here, but not if Bickies has anything to say about it. George working hard. Pound. Beautiful offense from Quarter Pounder there. Laying a hit on Janie Dodgem so George could clear the pack. Here comes Bickies, ready for points.
And is going to call it. Tries to get those hits in front of Tino.
And she does get a few points, yeah. Really nice to see this strong start to the half from Smash Malice. We've got Flying Kiwi lining up again against Nerdiator. These two skate for the All-Stars, so this is an All-Star jam-off. Flair running to get on the track. Just in time.
Flair with the pivot stripe.
And Kiwi up the line again. Kiwi has a very unique style. You can say that about most... Oh, we've got a star pass. About most jammers, but Kiwi's style is very hard to read.
Quite low to the ground.
Yes.
And now Lens Flair.
Nerdy has gone to the Derby Apex penalty box. There.
Oh, and has taken the star with her because of an illegal star pass.
That's what you'll get for an illegal star pass.
They make you give it back.
Kiwi does have that low stable positioning, but also very fast feet, so she's very hard to stop. And she's doing some great work here for Smash Malice, really closing that gap up. And her team are assisting her beautifully with some offense here. Round she goes.
Going to be returning to the pack and catching them unaware.
She did not come here to muck around. She's on the hunt for points. Is our Nerdy?
Nerdy's acceleration is, I think, one of her big weapons. And you can see it always when she skates away from the pack. She can't wait to get back to them and start putting points on the board.
Absolutely. She's fearless.
Ooh, a big jam for Smash Malice, though. 12 points. And we have an official timeout.
Somebody is... We have got a little blood on the track here. And we don't know why or where. Can report nobody seems to be too badly injured, but there might be a little bit of blood on someone's hand.
So we're just going to have a little pause while we wait for the track to get cleaned up.
We are going to have a little pause. Like to say a little hello to Angel City on behalf of Defiant.
Yep.
She misses her former leg and is keen to let you know about it. I don't know if anyone out there is viewing from Angel City. We haven't had any...
There was someone on Twitter who was...
Okay.
I don't know if they were from Angel City, but was saying that she was an Angel City OG, I believe was the phrasing.
That sounds about right. Another skater we're really lucky to have with us.
The last year has definitely been a year of some pretty fun transfers.
It has been.
For Richter City, I think. There have been some really talented skaters, some of whom we're seeing tonight, and a few others that we might get to see later in the year.
Indeed, including Nachi, who came to us from Argentina's Sailor City.
And, and they've brought a huge amount of talent on the track, but also I think a number of them have just been really great from like a coaching and a strategy standpoint.
Also just bringing some fresh energy and tactics and approaches. It's so great when you get some strong transfers from other countries where the play is entirely different. I think there's been a few people asking about the hand-holding approach to blocking, which is something that we have been starting to incorporate as a different way to get stability and dynamics in our pack work. And that's something that we've seen internationally as well. So different folks bring different approaches for sure.
Nerdiator has also requested that we say hello to her mother. She in Germany. She sends her love. Yeah.
That's all we have to say about that.
I didn't have a button on that.
Oh, crikey.
Some of you might have seen also Nerdy and Bonnie earlier, running around doing some Instagram Live.
They were making some top quality content about the rivalry between Smash Malice and Brutal Pageant.
I'm a Twitter person, so I don't know how Instagram works, but it looked exciting.
They're both fun characters, so it is bound to be exciting. We've got our medics from Wellington Free Ambulance here helping to patch up skaters and the track. Everyone is absolutely in good spirits and nobody is seriously injured. There's just been a little bit of spillage.
So look at some of our officials standing there in the middle.
Mr. Fox is our head referee. Quaddy standing next to him on the left is the man behind Roller Derby Streaming NZ, for whom we are very grateful. Quaddy and Dragon Ball Lee have been working tirelessly to bring this stream to you.
Also, while we've been talking and slightly distracted, there was another big jam for Smash Malice, and they've closed the gap to 27
Absolutely.
points.
Things are getting interesting out here. I'm sure the skaters are grateful for the slight reprieve.
Yeah, definitely. Today's really been like a day of second half adjustments.
Indeed.
That first game, we definitely saw, the Wellington team come out a little differently in the second half and start putting a lead together. And hopefully we're going to see Smash Malice tighten it up and make a real game out of this.
Indeedy. They're finding their form. Speaking of Roller Derby Streaming New Zealand, there's going to be a few more games streamed recently, or in the future, I should say. I don't know exactly what, but there is a game being played in Palmerston North next weekend, which is likely to be streamed.
And also for people who feel like they've watched their way through all the WFTDA playoffs on YouTube. If you find Roller Derby Streaming New Zealand on YouTube, you can find some videos of the top 10 tournament in New Zealand from last year, as well as just some other games from around New Zealand in the past year or so. So for anyone needing that new derby fix,
Get into it.
yeah.
We are really hopeful in October to have the regional rumble tournament where different regions of New Zealand will be getting together, forming teams specifically based around which parts of the North and South Island they come from. And that is going to be our answer to the usual top 10 tournament this year. So in lieu of that, we're getting together as a national community to do some of the derbs. And we're back on track.
And we might, at that tournament, see some of the skaters that we've seen in these two games.
Indeed, we
today.
will. Absolutely, for sure. And likely some from the Taranaki teams as well. Clear the decks, going for the inside line and getting it. Clear the decks is our lead jammer, while Enemy Blunt is held up
Just
currently
as
by Tough
Bickies to
Bickies. Someone asking where the regional rumble will be held. It's scheduled for Taupo, which is in the central North Island of New Zealand. So if it happens, that's where it will be happening. And we'll definitely keep you up to date with that on Richter City's channels when we have a bit more info. Blunt is looking for a star pass. Or is she?
She's got lens flare.
She has passed the star. Tino is now jamming for Smash Malice. And Dex is going to call the jam off, so Tino can't get any points. And that's how the game works. As I'm sure you know. What's your favourite thing about roller derby, Big Dipper?
This is gonna sound just so trite, and I apologize in advance. But like, I don't know,
Trite away.
I sort of the community that people can find in derby, and sort of the ways that like it's a sport and it's competitive and it's full contact, but like, you know, some of these teams are like families to each other, and even when they're not doing derby, they're hanging out and socializing with each other, and yeah, it's nice.
It is nice. You're absolutely right.
I can't be more eloquent than that.
That
but-
was lovely and eloquent. We've got Tough Becky's coming in to try and score some points, attempting an apex jump. Trying to hold Kiwi to no points. Oh, and it looks like she might have got one of her own. And the game is now in triple digits. 101 to Brutal Pageant and 70 to Smash Malice.
It's a 31-point spread.
Indeed. I would never attempt to talk about points differentials because I'm slightly dyslexic when it comes to numbers, and I know I would get it wrong. Clear the Decks is lining up against Furious George. Furious George looking for that inside line, being shut down by the pink blockers, but not stopped. Pushing Rita up the track. Would you look at the strength in that drive? That was amazing. Coming around for scoring pass as the pink jammer works to try and get through the pack. George takes that scoring pass like nobody's business.
Took her almost no time at all
As
to get
Rita
back around.
takes the panty from Clear the Decks. Rita is now our jammer for Brutal Pageant. And George comes up for his second scoring pass, calling off the jam. Wow, what a show of force from Furious George. That was incredible.
Earned her some congratulations from 414 Lens Flare, who also picked up a penalty for her trouble.
And into the Derby Apex penalty box she goes. It's par for the course, really, isn't it? A penalty from time to time for our blockers. Janie Dodgem lining up against Flying Kiwi. This will be a good match. Tenacity from these jammers. Flying Kiwi takes the outside line around Boohoo. Janie Dodgem is now out of the pack as well, hot on the heels of Flying Kiwi, who's coming up for her first scoring pass.
Defiant gives her a little
Makes
bit of
light
help.
work of it. Smash Malice having a brilliant couple of jams.
believe Defiant's getting called for a back block and being told to take 30 seconds in the Derby Apex penalty box. And checking in with her opponent just to make sure it was actually a back block.
We're being asked if it's common for Rector City teams to pass the star this much, and I think it just comes down to the individual team and the individual energy levels. But certainly it does make sense to pass the star if you're stuck in the pack. Gives you the chance to put the pressure on the other jammer.
Nerdiator back jamming now, and after putting a couple of big hits on the blockers for Smash Malice, she's got lead and she's looking to get some points.
At the inside. I've been enjoying the star passes in these games. It's always good to see it pulled off well.
I think some of it is also we've got some newer skaters, and so I think we've got some pivots out here that are keeping an eye out for newer jammers getting in trouble and trying to give them the support.
Brutal Pageant's offense there, just holding the line for Nerdy, so she's smoothly swooped around the side with no trouble at all. She's about to be joined by her teammate Rita coming out of the Derby Apex penalty box. Calling the jam before enemy Blunt can get any points on the board. Brutal Pageant edging away again. I don't know if it's just my energy levels coming back post snack break, but the second half of this game is really quite enthralling. There's been a lot of really good jammer matches, including this one. Tough Bickies up against Flying Kiwi.
A little pivot standoff there on the pivot line.
Oh, a bit of tussling between jammers here, and Kiwi comes out on top.
Flying Kiwi.
Tough Bickies close behind. Beautiful skating form from both of these jammers. Kiwi is eyeing up. Look at the offense being played by Smash Malice there. Beautifully utilized by Kiwi there. I think the pace has picked up a bit as people have recovered from their first game.
Definitely. Got some lineup issues currently, but Boohoo is hustling to join her pack.
Nothing like the 5-second hustle.
Renegade Rita, I believe, jamming.
Indeed she is. Looking for a hole in the defense and nearly finding one.
Furious George, the People's Champion.
With Rita hot on the heels. Rita is another People's Champion on the Twitch stream at the moment. Oh! I couldn't contain my excitement. I did a little happy dance. Oh,
for those of you at home, Sneaks Pasture has her fist in the air.
George is quite new to our league, and it's just been amazing seeing her go from strength to strength. This is her first season in a travel team, and that last game was her first game in a travel team, so it's just awesome seeing all the hard work and intelligence she's been applying. Timeout being called by Brutal Pageant. Yes, that was exciting for me. I've calmed down somewhat. When you see someone working on something time and time again and then they pull it off, it's pretty freaking cool.
Another look at the penalty situation. Lens Flare has picked up 4, as has Nerdiator. Rita a little bit behind them with 3.
Rita's looking at some consistent directional action there, while some of the other penalties are a little bit more spread in terms of what they're for. But yeah, probably not too much danger given we've got 1/4 of the game left. Smash Malice's penalties are looking a bit safer.
Defiant, the only person with 3. Otherwise, a couple of 2s and a couple of 1s.
Pretty acceptable, isn't it?
It's
Look at the score. It's closed.
I was talking to both teams at halftime, and they were sort of commenting on how they felt like it was a clean game out there, and people were just kind of having fun. No one getting too, stuck into it.
That's the dream.
Rita and Kiwi at the jam line. And it appears that Cotter Pounder is in the Derby Apex penalty box.
Indeed. Having a little break, having a little chat to the official, a friendly chat.
Feeling chagrin. And it's Rita getting lead jammer. Kiwi takes the star off. And
Keeps it as she gets past Tough Bickies and boo-hoo. Rita trying to get all of the points from Smash Malice, calling the jam before Kiwi can get any on the board.
a great recovery after going absolutely flat out on the track for a second there.
Official review being called out by Brutal Pageant. Clear the decks and Tough Bickies popping into the middle. They've got something to say. We'll try and let you know what it is.
Cue Danzig voice. Once upon a time we had a microphone for things like this.
There will be, hopefully, someone to tell us what's going on. I can see some officials dancing to keep warm. It's definitely starting to cool down out here. Maybe they're just dancing to keep happy. Who am I to judge?
Yeah.
I don't know from here.
I feel like the show Jumping the Apex with the Harbor Grudges has really normalized dancing. Really brought it to the wider audience.
Yeah, I think the dancing element has long been part of the sport, but it definitely brought it to the fore. And I think shows us as a good-humoured bunch of competitive folk. Nothing wrong with a wee boogie in the middle of a battle, is there?
Just dancing it out.
That's right. That was a great show. I reckon it's really nice to see Derby represented in a slightly less salacious way. I don't know, the home game show on Netflix that sort of zoomed in on various extreme sports was really cool to see skating out there, but the Banks track style is obviously very different to WFTDA play. And I don't know, every time I tell somebody that doesn't know about Derby that that's a thing I do, they go, oh my God, it's so violent, isn't it? And is that where you put on your fishnets? And fair play to you if you like skating in fishnets. Good for you, you do you, boo. But it's not that representative, I don't think. So I really, really enjoyed jumping the apex.
I think we've now progressed to an... I'm getting multiple hand signs.
We're still in timeout, yeah. That's all I know.
I haven't been able to decide if I'd like to see another season of Jumping the Apex that follows the same skaters that I've
grown to love.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Or if it would be cool to see it as a recurring show that follows like a different league.
I would love to see from inside a lot of different leagues. That would be so cool. Every league has its own flavor, you know?
If anyone would like to come down to New Zealand and follow Richter City skaters around with cameras, I can't speak for everyone, but I think that would be a lot of fun.
That would be fun. I feel we would need a challenge we were overcoming, like the Halifax Harbour Grudges did, you know, entering WFTDA.
Yeah. Who is my favorite Richter City I'm going to have to say, like, probably shout out to Narden.
Amen. Yep.
They were pretty much from the first episode one of my favorites. But, I mean, one of the things I liked about that is there were no real villains on that. You know, it didn't feel manufactured.
It did a really good job of representing each person's sort of rationale, reasons, what they liked.
So, some people had, you know, struggles to overcome, but
they did it together.
How about yourself?
I don't know. It's really hard not to say Tank because, Tank, you know?
Shout out to Tank.
So I think it's Tank. I loved them all, though. I really enjoyed how much...
Ooh.
Oh, Tino!
Star pass, the Tino Pie.
Swish stuff out there.
And Nerdy's not going to let her.
I enjoyed the bonding between the skaters and just sort of the growth. Yeah. I just liked it, you know?
It's good. Yeah. It's just good, wholesome content.
Tell you what else I liked is the dancing. Like after a bout, there would be more dancing. Like I said, you know, boogies, battles, we do it all. Here we go. Clear the decks. Up against Kiwi. Kiwi from the out to the in. Oh, that was smooth. And Dex close behind.
Some rumblings in the pack as they... Kiwi calling it off.
Some fierce pace from that Kiwi.
Sneaks, I realized.
Yeah.
I never asked you what your favorite part of Derby was. I've been horribly rude.
It's quite hard to follow how warm yours was, you know?
Come on.
But honestly, my favorite part of Derby is skating. Yeah. Having skates on my feet just brings me so much joy. It's a ridiculous childlike feeling. I love the community as well. That's another thing. I love these people. But just skating. Every time I skate, I can't keep the smile off my face. Defiant is jamming out here. Can you believe it?
And Bicky's is going to have to let her go.
That was the longest 20 feet I ever saw. Janie dodging. Coming around the outside there. Defiant calling off the jam.
Call it off. Get a high five.
From the opposition, because that's how we do.
From several people in the opposition.
There is no opposition, really,
Yeah,
when you're skating against your pals. Just 9 minutes left of sweet, sweet, real live roller derby. Coming to you from the coolest little capital, Wellington, to Whanganui Atara in New Zealand.
Really can't say enough about how wonderful it is for all the people who have stayed up or got up and who are still plugging along, and also the people who watched what they could and then finally gave in to sleep.
And those of you who are watching this tomorrow or the next day or the next week, like if you're here and you're not live with us, thanks for taking the time to tune in. George eyeing up the apex but getting shut down by Brutal Pageant, looking now for the outside line. Tino offering a whip.
That was
Quarter pounder heading off to the Derby apex penalty box.
Grumpy Wendy sealing the inside line there on George.
She's been known to do that. Derby apex, 4:49 a.m. Look, we're here with you. We know you'll be going a little bit loopy, and that's okay. A few deep breaths, you'll be able to snooze soon.
As the kids say, tweet through it. And that looks like Nerdiator getting out to lead Jammer and powering away from the pack. But here comes Flying Kiwi, star in hand.
Nerdiator approaching the pack with speed. Oh, getting shut down by Defiant.
Yep.
Defied by Defiant. Take that.
That looks like enemy blunt on the jam line.
Indeed it is. And here comes Clear the Decks. Teammates in the last bout. Arch rivals in this one.
Enemies now.
Fierce enemies. Not really.
We have 7 minutes to go. I can start shredding my voice.
Our skaters are working hard. Bonnie Collide and Tino Pie, is it? In this one? Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Changed that name. Looking for the in. And she
Dex
takes
is
it.
free.
Enemy blunt.
And
Looking
oh my
for the
God,
pass.
That's Tino's music.
Tino Pie doing some fierce defense and then taking the star, getting into the offense for her team.
That was my one old school professional wrestling joke for the night.
I heard it and I didn't get it, and I figured someone else will.
The kids most definitely say tweet through it. Trust me.
And your WWE reference was noted.
Ooh.
I knew.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look, we've got a lying down jam start. This is the sort of silliness we like to see.
Oh, I should have known that Bickies would be a part of this somewhere.
Every year we have this wonderful tournament called Spills and Thrills, sponsored by our sponsors Garage Project. Oh, Bickies is off to the Derby Apex penalty bin. But at Spills and Thrills we often have silly jams. Backwards jams, dancing jams, lying down jams. So I'm not surprised to see that. Nerdy takes a fall on the butt and then gets up smiling, which is classic nerd.
I think that was Sting that hit her and their teammates on the Richter City All-Stars.
They are indeed. No love lost. 5 minutes to go.
5 minutes. 5 minutes to midnight.
Time to get those toothpicks into those eyelids.
Oh, God.
Dill, you can do this. Just 5 more minutes. What do you have to do tomorrow, Dill? That's what I want to know.
Furious George.
Being
Getting
recycled by Rita.
And now, tough Bickies in the Derby Apex penalty box, but standing now. George with one to beat.
Janie, dodge him. Beautiful.
Big 20 feet. Bickies coming through hard and breaks through.
Someone on the stream saying they're 28 and they felt too old to start Derby. Not at all, I say to you.
I think a lot of skaters in Derby would tell you 28 is kind of getting a jump on things.
I think I hadn't put skates on my feet until I was 34. So there you go.
I think roller derby is for anyone who wants to play roller derby.
I think so too.
Regardless of really anything else.
Yep, that's true.
And even for people who can't skate, there are tons of ways to get involved with roller derby, whether that's being an official or just volunteering with a team and helping out with benching or anything like that.
Absolutely. There is a space for you. And if you are new, you just have to be patient with yourself. It takes a while to learn, and some things come easier. Everybody is has an easy time with some skills and a hard time with others.
And if you don't know what your local roller derby league is, Derby Twitter will let you know.
I just punched the air. Did you guys see that beautiful work from Kiwi on the inside line? Here she is for it again. Yes,
Oh.
I knew that was going to happen. I saw it coming. It was written. Lens Flare working hard as pivot for clear the decks. Here comes Kiwi.
Ooh,
Another
great
pass.
offense by Sting, though. Just a little bump on the outside.
Kiwi unstoppable these last few passes.
Kiwi needs about a letterbox's worth of space to get through, and
That's true.
she's gone. And now we have a star pass, and it's
Lens
a
Flare
lens
to
flare,
jam.
and not going to get a chance.
Oh, come on.
I'm always so disappointed. Let the pivot get
Beautiful
some
work
money.
from Kiwi. The score is 148 to the fallen Beauty Queen's Brutal Pageant and 113 to Smash Malice.
Did we explain the name Smash Malice?
Smash Malice is a play on the name of a famous Kiwi film called Smash Palace. And it is set in a junkyard for cars, I believe. So Smash Malice, the myth, the legend, is that they're a bunch of sort of classy, car-loving, leopard print-wearing babes.
Speaking of myths and legends, Nerdiator tries a little apex jump there, but she is powering around and picking up points now.
not at all deterred by that.
Shrugging off blockers.
Ah, beautiful. Smooth and swift through the pack.
You really shouldn't be allowed to be that strong and that fast.
It is a very dangerous package. Yep. Making light work and that footwork on the inside. Beautiful. In these final minutes of the game, Nerdy getting a few more points on the board for her team, Brutal Pageant.
Ooh, we may have had a star pass. Tino appears to be putting on a bit of a shove.
Yes, Defiant, I think.
Oh, it's Defiant, my goodness.
Appears to be the jammer. Will be holding the panty.
Sting closing the gate for Defiant there.
In the final minute of the game here. Some beautiful offense from Bickies there, a bit of non-verbal comms, showing Nerdy the way. As we look to wrap up our stream, I just want, from the bottom of my heart, to thank those of you who have joined us from all over the world for this little old roller derby spectacle. It's just warmed our wee hearts, hasn't it, Big Dipper?
It really has. This has been really lovely.
It has. It's just been really lovely.
I personally have been quite chuffed to get to share commentating for this game with you, and
I with you, my friend.
But
is that the final whistle of the game?
That is it.
Oh, wow. There she blows.
Big jam to end things.
Massive
20 points
jam.
for Brutal Pageant.
We'll just wait for the final scores to be locked in.
Maybe all over but the hugs.
Want to thank the Derby Apex for their sponsorship of our penalty box. I also just want to drop a little plug for our sponsors who are always here with us, like Ico, who gives us awesome prizes for raffles, Garage Project, who has the most delicious beer, Form Massage, who makes us feel really good, Aotearoa Skate Gear, and Rich Coffee Roasters, who have been here tonight caffeinating us. Truly
Hopefully,
thankful.
like all of you at home have been caffeinating.
Indeed. We will tell Rita she has fans in Alaska and she will be thrilled. Any advice for aspiring commentators? Good one. I don't know. Earlier I told Big Dipper here next to me to just pretend that he was talking derby with some pals.
Our motto tonight has been Bud's talking derbs.
Bud's talking derbs. So take that on.
Oh, we are about to be on camera. I'm
Here we
emotionally
are.
prepared.
Indeed.
I think also find people who feel comfortable doing commentary, and do commentary with them. I've
Give it
felt
a go.
very supported by you.
Oh, thanks.
We can also reveal now that this has been my first game ever commentating.
Can you believe it, folks? The
so-
professionalism on this guy. Woo. My main commentary thing is to talk to everyone in the audience, so you're not always going to be talking to a derby expert. It doesn't matter if you want to break down how a crossover works or if you want to talk about what a star pass is. And you don't always have to be talking.
Yeah.
See?
Let the game speak for itself sometimes. It's definitely been our philosophy during this game.
We have an official
Ooh.
review. Perhaps someone questioning something from that last jam.
It's not over yet.
Also, get yourself a silly hat. Don't take yourself too seriously. That's my life advice in general.
Grow a mustache.
It's working for you. Oh, crikey. Thanks to Nina, who's been pointing me in the direction of things I need to look at on the stream, because I've only got one hand here. There are some officials. They're having a chat, having a review. Who knows what may come of it? It looks like the score is going to be... Those 20 are going to get added on, aren't they? Toasties for life, absolutely.
Very much so.
Will we come to Palmy? That's a good question. I was planning to come and watch, but I'd like to... I reserve the right to change my mind. There's been a lot of derby in my life. Maybe.
I believe I will actually be benching for at least one of the teams at the Palmy game. So I am trading one anxiety-inducing new experience in Derby for a different
It's a year of
anxiety-inducing.
growth. Why not? If you're going to give something a go anytime, why not do it this year?
So if they stream the Palmy game and people tune in, I will be the one standing next to a bench, visibly shaking on camera.
Benching is another skill to be refined over time. Hype man is my best benching skill.
Yeah, I think that's very much going to be a major component.
Calling lineups is hard. That 20 is going to get added on, isn't it? If all things go well.
So we'd be looking at 188 to 117.
Here comes Mr. Fox to tell us what's going on.
So Smash Malice was asking for a penalty on the red jammer, which was Brutal Pageant, for an illegal assist pass that occurred approximately 3 passes ago. None of the refs had eyes on this, so the penalty was not granted and they lost their official review.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. One more jam is the call from the bench. So even I don't know if I understand that. There was a query about a star pass. Nobody saw the star pass in question.
I think.
Am I putting words in Mr. Fox's
No,
mouth?
that was my understanding. Also, there's some flossing going on.
There was just a rock, paper, scissors match to see if we could have one more jam, and it has been granted.
Okay.
Because Grace, our head NSO, won. So, ladies, gentlemen, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, here we go. There was 1 second on the clock, so it was ref's discretion, and here we are.
So if you signed out early, you've missed a big one. We're going to do a lying down start again.
You got what you're asking for, team. One more jam. And we're off. Lying down jam. We've got Flying Kiwi and
We're lying down on
Beckies.
the back jam. Oh, and everybody's going to take a lie down on the track.
this is the decider. This jam decides the game. Here goes. Here goes
Gets a little
Beckies.
shove from Dodge. Kiwi is going to take the star off and
Beckies is looking for some
look to
points.
pass it.
Oh, look at the inside. It's wide open. Oh, tough Beckies. Gets herself some points.
I want to say that our star pass has been completed because it looks like Tino is now doing the hard work. She's just got 2 to beat.
She is pushing. She's got Dodge, Rita, and Boo
And
holding
she's
her up.
free. Everybody wants one more jam until they actually have to skate.
Indeedy. Beckies is looking for some points. She's calling it off, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary pals. That is the end of our game. Bye, crikey. What a nail biter. Such fun.
Gonna put it up to 180 even, I'm thinking, to 117.
Thanks again for being with us. We have loved having you all on board. What a joy. See you again soon for some more Roll the Derby action, hopefully. See you in the internet, where we can hang out with each other regardless of pandemics.
And tweet through it.
Indeed.
Kia ora, everybody.
We've been Sneaks and Big Dipper. Peace out.